Hi, welcome to Savoury P. Today I've got a choc orange frangipane tart. I created this for our wedding anniversary recently and it was so delicious that I can't keep the recipe to myself. Inspired by a nut base I found in this new cookbook, Beatrix Bake, I've made a buckwheat version. Then I added a chocolate frangipane, orange chocolate frangipane filling. So it's totally gluten-free. So it's almost healthy for you. Maybe not quite. Anyway, if you'd like to see how to make my choc orange frangipane tart, come with me and let's see. Step one of the chocolate tart, we need to do the base. Now it's a nut base, as I said, with buckwheat flour, but you can swap it out and use gluten-free flour or regular flour. So you need to prepare the walnuts first. So I've toasted these beforehand in the oven on low, like 150 degrees for 30 minutes, and then I've finely chopped them just with a knife. But you can blend them in a food processor, but it's great to prep that before you even start. So we're going to add them into the bowl. So that is 75 grams or about 3/4 of a cup. And then to that we're adding 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we've got some sugar here, which is 1/4 cup or 30 grams. And we've got the buckwheat flour, that's 190 grams. We've got 150 grams of the chilled butter that I'm adding. And I need to work this gently with my fingertips until it looks like little small peas. I find it's easy to control the texture of the flour and butter if you do it with your hands. I know it's a little bit time consuming, but maybe just dance along as you're doing it. Okay, that's what it looks like now. It's kind of like grainy sand. Not the sand you get in Australia, but maybe the sand you get here in the UK. So to that we're going to add 25 mils of water, and it's chilled water. So we need to start forming the dough. So with the heat of your fingertips, it just kind of comes together. So you might start thinking, oh no, doesn't look like I've got enough water. Don't add any more water. Because before you know it, it'll start coming together. So my right hand is acting like a claw as I'm moving it around. I'll just show you that slightly. And if you're new here today, maybe consider subscribing, hit the bell, and then you get notified when I've got a new video. I usually do them Mondays and Fridays, but because it's Christmas time, my schedule is a bit out of whack and I'm adding a few more in just so you've got a few more treats to bake over the holidays. Okay. So I've got a dough ball now. So we need to rest this. You can either start rolling it straight away, but if it's not too warm, but I like to chill it a little bit first for about 15 minutes. So we just form a disc. So flatten it slightly, wrap it in plastic. We'll just chill that for 15. Our timer went off. So the next step is we need to roll out the dough. So I've got a pastry mat here, or you can do it directly on your bench. And we're going to add a little bit of buckwheat flour just to the mat, to my hands and to the rolling pin. So we just want to get this a little bit warmed up. So I'm just using my hand. You might want to prep this the day before, so then making the tart isn't too time consuming. Just press that a few times. Now the nut base is a little bit more fragile than a regular pastry. So it cracks as you try and lift it. And what you can do is, once it's in the tart tin, I'm using a tart tin like this today, you can kind of press it together. So now just make sure you've got enough flour on your rolling pin. We're going to roll that back over the rolling pin. Just be gentle because it might start cracking a little bit on you. Then we need to flop it into our tin. So I've lightly greased my tin. So now as you're flopping it in, you want to just try and manipulate the dough so it's snug on the sides of your shell or your tin. And if you see any cracks appearing, just gently press them with your fingers. This side's just gone a bit short, so I'm going to paste some on. So the magic of this tin is grab your rolling pin and then you just roll over the edges and it cuts them off. And now, next step is we need to freeze this for an hour. So I'm going to freeze this, go away, have a cup of tea. So let's freeze this for an hour. So the next step, we need to blind bake our frozen shell for 35 to 45 minutes. I've preheated my oven to 180 degrees C and I've just placed the tart tin on a heavy based baking tray. That just makes it super easy to get it in and out of the oven. So to blind bake, I've got baking beads, which are these ceramic beads. So a little tip that I got from the book is to pop the beads into foil and place the foil on top of the pastry shell. So the beads weigh the dough down so you don't get any air bubbles. And if you don't have beads, you can use rice, beans, or as this lady says in this book, Natalie Paul, she suggests using sugar. And then you could just keep the sugar in this foil and pop it in a container, a sealed container. It will last for months. Anyway, let's bake this for 35 to 45 minutes. So while we've got the shell in the oven, I'm going to make the filling. So as I said in the intro, it's a chocolate frangipane filling and with a hint of orange. So in this mixer bowl, I'm going to add some white caster sugar, 165 grams of butter or 2/3 of a cup. So we're just going to pulse them for about 30 seconds at a medium speed. We'll do a mixing dance. That's all combined. Help scrape some of the butter off the sides. Okay, into that we've got 3 whole eggs. So I'm going to do one at a time. So then we need to add in frangipane. Wouldn't be frangipane unless it had almonds. So we've got almond flour or ground almonds. 150 grams of ground almonds, which is about 1.25 cups. So I'll pop all that in. And then I've got some cocoa powder, but I just need to sift that before it goes in. And along with that, I'm going to sift in 1 tablespoon of buckwheat flour, and I've got half a tablespoon of corn flour. I'm going to grab a little whisk. My little tip for sifting it quicker and not making too much of a mess. I have the full recipe with all the ingredients listed below, and then you can jump over to my website too for the recipe at savoury.com. So throw in the cocoa powder as well. And we've got a zest of 1 orange, so that's roughly about, I think it's about 2 teaspoons. That gives us our delicious orange flavour. You don't really need the juice or anything. The zest is enough to give it the flavour, because in the middle we'll add a little bit of marmalade jam, but if you don't like marmalade, leave it out. So I'm just going to chill this. A biscuit base or tart shell is baked. So we're going to add some marmalade jam. So I'm just doing 2 generous tablespoons full. Just be careful because the base is still quite warm. Now we've removed the filling from the refrigerator. Now I've got some flaked almonds. There's about 2 tablespoons full there. I'm just going to sprinkle those on the top and scatter them so they're even. So let's bake this for 40 to 50 minutes. But stick around, I've got a few other ideas to share with you. So a few other tips. If you wanted to swap out the buckwheat flour, try gluten-free flour, spelt flour, or just regular flour. If you wanted to make it dairy-free, you could use a non-dairy butter like Flora, buttery, and just chill the butter or the non-dairy butter in the freezer in little pieces before you add it to the dough. If you wanted to make the dough ahead of time, the dough will freeze in the freezer for 3 months or in the fridge for about 3 days. Or if you wanted to make the shell ahead of time and you've got a huge freezer, you could leave it in the shell in the freezer. Oh, I've got a few other tarts that you might want to check out. I've got my apple frangipane tart, which is one of my original recipes. So I'll pop a link up above. I've got a savoury tart that you might want to check out. I've got some buckwheat cupcakes that you might like. So check that link out as well. So here we have the frangipane tart, chocolate orange frangipane tart. And just a little tip. I think I had my oven too hot. We need to drop the oven back to 160 degrees and bake it for 40 minutes. I've got a slight little crack in it, but I'm sure it will taste fine. Let's do a taste test. So I really shouldn't be cutting it just yet. It's a little bit too warm, but I'm cutting it for you guys. So let's do a little piece. Okay, check that out. Because it's still super hot, it kind of distorts the flavour, so it is better left room temperature. Even though my crust looks slightly burnt, it doesn't taste burnt at all. It tastes amazing. So let me know if you've liked my video today. Write a comment below, share it with a friend, hit the like button, thumbs up. Don't forget, consider subscribing if you want to see more of my videos, and check out a few other links. I'll leave them here. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.